Okay, so guys, thanks for coming and welcome to the first G-Jitsu, a podcast for
that's not the name.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Have we settled on that? Yeah.
No.
Okay. No.
So another name I thought was Jits Quips.
That's worse. Yeah.
That's worse, yeah.
I like Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay. Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu.
I can live with that. Yeah. Go on then.
Have you got any suggestions?
No. I'm just a hater.
Just a hater.
Yeah, I'm just a hater. I've got no better suggestions. Yeah.
What are the other podcasts called? I listened to Bulletproof for BJJ.
I listened to that as well.
It's good.
I don't listen to any of them, to tell you the truth, no.
That's the first podcast I've ever listened to, like that I've enjoyed. And
I've listened to some clips of that, what's his name, Lex Friedman.
Yeah.
I listened to some clips of his, only because it would intrigue me, like I see some fella like fully suited up. Like
Is that
giving
guy?
podcast
Yeah.
to people in rash guards, yeah.
Yeah. What does he do actually?
No idea.
He's like
No idea. I think he's a black belt himself.
He is a black belt.
Yeah.
He's like a data scientist or something. But he's also
Very
a black
analytical
belt.
about stuff.
He's had Danaher on, Gordon Ryan, a few of them.
I think he works in Silicon Valley, doesn't he? He's got like,
Yes,
like some sort of a
that's
tech
right.
company.
Something
Does
like
he?
that.
Yeah. Something
Yeah, that makes sense.
Super
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Like a nerd, but
Well, it's
he's
alright.
kicking ass as
We've
well.
got Greg.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm that version of
Yes.
him. So.
Yeah. You're all right.
So you haven't decided on a name for it just yet?
Not 100%.
No,
so
why don't you put yourself in like the limelight and call it like Mat Time with Greg or something?
That time with Greg, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, we'll think about it. Mat Time with Greg, that's working. Jiu-Jitsu is a working title as well. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for joining me, gents. It's a pleasure to have you. For this pilot episode, I sort of thought that if we can gain some sort of perspective on what Jiu-Jitsu is, and like coming from me, I'm about 6-7 months in to Jiu-Jitsu at the moment, and I've obviously got a different take of it from what you guys might have. So, Anthony, how long have you been doing Jiu-Jitsu?
Training, so grappling, probably about 11-12 years.
11, 12
Yeah.
years.
But I started with like different combat sports, with like mixed martial arts before I just focused on jiu-jitsu, on grappling. Yeah.
So you focus on, so you're calling it grappling, yeah?
Yeah. So with jiu-jitsu, like I didn't put a gi on until 2015, but I'd already trained for a few years before that. Do you know what I mean, Greg?
Yeah.
So yeah, probably been consistent like with jiu-jitsu from 2015.
Okay. And just quickly, how long have you been training, Spencer?
2.5 years jiu-jitsu. Did a bit of boxing before that and judo as a kid. So
Judo,
Yeah.
nice.
Judo as a kid.
Yeah.
And you?
Did about a year and a half at Next Gen, and then stopped when COVID started, and I'm about 2 months back in now, after a 3-year break. So I've just finally got the rust off, so I don't leave every session now.
How did you feel
Get on and
your
cry.
first one back?
Well, I said to Harry, he goes, oh, how'd you get on, mate? I said, I feel great up here, and then I feel crap everywhere else.
yeah.
Like, it was rough. I was partnered up with Connor Anderson straight away. And he's just got his purple belt, hasn't he? He's a beast. And it was a Saturday morning session, and when we were doing the warm-ups, it was like, right, start from mount, you've either got to escape or you've got to submit, and then positional sparring, and if you lost, you had to do 10 sprawls.
Winner stays on, positional sparring is always going to fuck you up.
It wasn't when it stayed on, it was you stick with the same partner and the loser had to sprawl.
Okay.
So we had about 12 rounds and I sprawled up 11 of them. I managed to hold mount once and that was it. Everything else.
It's the little battles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Take a win from that.
And it was just,
100%.
it was rough because, you know, he's a strong, he's technically
Yeah.
really good.
What I mean is like any kind of, like as soon as you add a competitive element to it,
Yeah.
then it's to the death, you know what I mean? People all fucking exhaust themselves. As soon as you watch it, as soon as we say like go and stand on that wall, that's it then. It's fucking on. You see people's faces change, you see the pupils dilate, you see them fucking, do you know what I mean? Like sometimes like if you're getting an easy roll of the dice, like without sounding too disrespectful, and you're on there and you fucking feel yourself getting exhausted, eventually you're like, oh, stay on, yeah, you stay on, I need to fucking come off here, because in a minute we're going to do 6 5s, and honestly, I want to have a little bit left at least.
You know, like when we do that, when you go against the wall and you take it in turns, been training for 6-7 months, I've never stayed on a single one of them. Do you know what I mean? But I almost like, so now I almost sort of don't want to, so I'll like take it easy, and then you go and chill, and then just wait for the rounds after. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good because I mean, obviously positional sparring, it's good for the fact that it forces you, or it forces people into not playing their cool shit, not doing the stuff that's going to work all the time. Because it's not until, I think for most people, it's not until you get later on that you start having like a purpose when you get into the gym and into the rounds and stuff. So you just want to win. For most people, I just want to beat this person.
Can I just explain quickly for the viewers what we're talking about when we're saying about lining up against the wall? So sometimes in training, what they do is they'll teach a technique, like maybe a guard pass or a way to pass, or is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be like a positional sparring thing. So, like you said, you'll get taught a technique or whatever it may be, and then you'll start from a specific position, so you can then implement that in a live drill. Again, it's forcing you to pick up or to practice what you've just been learning.
And then so you'll do rock scissors paper. You'll get partnered up, and then the rest of the people will line up against the wall. You do rock scissors paper. Whoever loses, sort of, whoever wins goes on the bottom or something, and then it's the person's job who's on top to like pass the guard. It's the person's job who's on the bottom to keep the guard, I guess.
Yeah. So it's normally from the bottom. It's normally the sweep or submit, don't you? And from the top, it's either holding the position or like you said, passing the guard. That paper scissors stone or rock paper scissors, that's the fucking worst part of this session. That for me, I can never fucking time it right. I always get it wrong. I'm like, I don't know. Would you say paper scissors stone? Do you say rock paper scissors? Paper scissors rock? I don't know. Normally I tend to just like
shoot on scissors or
yeah. I always like half a beat behind with it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, do you want to just pick where we're going? Because like that's the part that gets in my head. I'm like, heart goes fucking doing this with me.
My biggest goal in jiu-jitsu is to be able to hit the clap on 3.
Hit the clap on 3.
I've never been able
I'm
to
not
do
doing the clap on.
We don't do that.
I'm not doing it.
Do you
No,
not? Oh, right,
no,
okay.
it's too close to Liverpool to do the clap on.
What do
You're
you
not
mean?
seeing any gyms in Liverpool do that.
Oh, they don't?
No.
Because, like, so I saw it when I trained here, and it's like 1, 2, 3, boom, everyone does it. And I almost thought it was
get a
like a little
flight?
bit, there's a little bit of conditioning, I feel like I'm being conditioned, so.
Yeah.
But,
Probably is, yeah.
Pavlovian, like
Yeah.
once we crap, like
Yeah.
war.
I know people. I've seen people do it ironically and that. You know what I mean? Like take the piss out.
Yeah,
No, we do it unironically.
Yeah.
I know,
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah. Everyone's bang on with
It's
it.
what
aren't
it
they?
is.
I'd intentionally go out of my way to do it on 2. You know what I mean? Be a dickhead every time. Like, 1, 2. Oh, sorry guys. Fucked it up again.
It's like being in school when you give a round of applause and you're there with your mate, like at the end, like.
Carry it on. Yeah. I'm not stopping this clap until I get told to. Yeah.
So one person's on the bottom, one person's on top, or standing or whatever. The person who's standing has to try and pass the guard. Person on the bottom has to sweep or submit, right?
Yeah.
And then whoever wins that exchange, whoever loses, goes off, and then the next person comes on. And then you just keep on doing that until the coach says stop, right? So I just wanted to explain that for anybody who was wondering what we were talking about before.
I was wondering, so thank you.
You were wondering, do you not do that here?
No.
So Spencer trains at RGA right here, Hodger Gracie Gym under Steve.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve has been kind enough to let us use this space today, so big shout out to Steve. Thanks so much, because it's hard to find a space like this with mats. It's just hard to find, right? Mm-hmm. The mats aren't cheap, and so massive shout out to RGA RGA.
Getting all
The
Brazilian there.
Yeah. RGA Chester.
You're John for me. Yeah, RGA Chester.
So he brought him a pineapple in the morning when he came in.
Should have started the podcast like that. Okay, guys, Jits. What am I going to do?
Renato Laranja.
Brilliant. He's a black belt though, isn't he? He's been a black belt for years. Under Eddie Bravo.
Who's that?
Jason, I think his name, I don't know, that's
He's a comedy character, like a Jiu-Jitsu comedy character.
Renato.
Laranja.
Yeah, that's his character, isn't it? But it's a play on his name. But he's like an actor. He's like he does like Days of Our Lives, like soaps and stuff in America. But he just so happens to be a black belt and a comedian as well.
Oh,
he's part of that little firm, like the Joe Rogan and Eddie Bravo. And,
Okay, I'll probably know him if I saw his
But he
face.
does, right, he's got amazing videos on YouTube, right? And he does one with Vinny Magalhaes, you know who that is.
Yeah.
And he's just so fucking good. He's so good at taking people off and doing accents. And he's doing like there's a bit where he's doing, not Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. He's doing that, and it's so funny. If you get a little second, have a look at Renato Laranja.
Yeah, I'll check that out for sure.
He's funny. He's got quite a good following, hasn't he?
Yeah. Forgot all about him, to be honest.
Alright, so what we talked about, we said how long we did. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you, Anthony, because you're the brown belt here, so you're the most experienced.
Pressure on.
Hey Joe, you're alright. Joe's Spencer, this is Joe.
Oh, hi, Joey. Right.
Yeah, I'll introduce you guys in a bit. All right. We're just about 15 minutes in.
Yeah, maybe whatever you need to do.
So we'll see. Do you want to make yourself comfortable, like around there? Or are you good there, or up to you? If you need anything, just ask John. All right.
Cool. Yeah, cheers.
So yeah, I wanted to ask you, Anthony, about different types of grappling. Because I'm ignorant to it, right? So I know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I sort of know Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, which is sort of more like throwing, right? Throws and stuff. But I've heard of Sambo.
Yeah.
And then Greco-Roman.
Okay, so like a brief overview of what they are, or what my understanding at least is of them. So a condensed story about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu anyway would be Kankoma, was it? From Japan with a judo background, then visited, again, my understanding, what I've been led to believe, Brazil. But before he went to Brazil, he ended up in a small town not far from here called Wigan, where he picked up some stuff from catch wrestling, one of them being a double wrist lock, which is now referred to in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu circles as a Kimura. Then went out to, for whatever reason, ended up in Brazil with the Gracie family.
Do you know what kind of era this is? What?
This would have been like
late 19th century.
20s.
I thought it was late 19th century, wasn't it?
Maybe, I'm not too
Well,
sure.
like hundreds of years.
Well, he was passing on stuff to Carlos Gracie and Elio Gracie, wasn't he? So, you know,
Yeah, I think
So it would have been like 20s.
1900s.
Was it early 1900s?
Let's just say, if you're interested, Google it, right?
yeah. Everyone's got their own. This is like folklore as well. Do you know what I mean? Everyone, depending on where they're from, has got their own thing. Like Lucha Livre guys will tell you something different.
Yeah.
People like catch wrestlers from Wigan will tell you a version what I'm bastardising now. So anyway, get over to Brazil. Start beating these little Brazilians up with judo. Now judo relied a lot on the ippons or the throws, and it was very strength heavy. Pardon the pun. So basically, again, what I'm led to believe is that once these guys got hold of it, got hold of judo, they basically you had a set amount of time on the ground to finish with Nawaza, which is the ground fighting. So they basically said, well, what about if we just turn the clock off and see what happens, see how we can continue to elaborate this style on the ground. I should say at this point as well that nothing's new, okay? Nobody, the concept and the techniques and everything else, nobody in Brazil designed any. The pancration was going 1,000 years before that, do you know what I mean? So nobody's coming up with anything new, anything fancy. Everything happens in ebbs and flows and trends and whatever else. But they did innovate it, and he was a fantastic businessman. That I do know. So to go back what you were saying, Greg, about different styles and stuff. So you mentioned Sambo. So Sambo derives from, like, they all have different derivatives. So Sambo's got a lot of judo involved in it. It's got a lot of leg locks. You have combat Sambo with the striking involved, including headbutts. So it's more of a combined arts combat sambo.
Basically MMA, but with a gi jacket and shorts.
Basically, yeah. But I think there's some things that aren't allowed, even right. Like certain chokes and things like that, even right. And then like catch wrestling that I mentioned then, so that and other different kinds of wrestling, for like Cornish wrestling. There's loads of different little pockets of these like niche, obscure grappling arts that have either disappeared or don't get practiced too much. Catch wrestling, the reason I mentioned to you about it, I done the catch wrestling Wales a few years back. I done it twice, and it was fucking bizarre because like it brought out all of these amazing like fucking high level fighters like that are known world around. So like I stood waiting to weigh in, and next to me was like Josh the War Master Barnett, like UFC Hall of Famer, like one of the first UFC heavyweight champions. Just waiting to weigh in because he's a catch purist and he loves catch wrestling. You know what I mean? So we come over to do it and wrestle Ian Jones. Yeah. So
what would the aim be to in
catch wrestling to win? You're either going to pin them for a 3 count, okay, both shoulders on the mat, okay. Or you can submit them. Now the submissions that are available to you, there's a lot of cranks, a lot of leg locks. You can't choke, you can't rear naked choke, but you can like face bar and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So there's similar principle, similar technique, except that you just can't be under the chin on it. So they've adapted or developed different ways of using them techniques, because you can't choke with them, you can't strangle with them, but you can still apply pressure with your forearm to the bridge of somebody's nose and get them to tap with that.
That's worse than being choked sometimes, isn't it?
Oh, it's so much pain, and also as well, it's legit. Like I don't know with that Marcus the other week in
Rhys,
yeah. But the thing is, like if that doesn't work, it's gonna open up the neck anyway. Yeah. People, it's natural reaction. You're not gonna push the bridge of your nose into somebody's forearm and it's causing you pain. So it opens it up, and then you can actually get under the neck, can't you?
Our coach, Luke, who you guys have met, he says anything below the eyes is the neck.
Yeah.
Just like you get something to it. You know?
Some people go, oh, it was a crank or a choke. It's like, well, you tapped out.
I know.
Yeah.
I understand if you're in training, don't be too brutal to people, but at the end of the day, tap's a fucking tap.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's the same with sparring. It's the same with like in sparring. I always think, don't do anything. And like I said, it goes for sparring as well. So don't do anything that you're not all right with yourself. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be all right with somebody like ripping a heel hook on and not give me a chance to try and fight out of it or tap, because that's a dickhead move and it can put you out of the gym and out of training for months. So I wouldn't do that myself. You sort of have that like knowing look, don't you? Like, that's fucking on that, isn't it? Yeah, you're happy with that sound and then you move on. And it's the same with sparring. Like, only punch someone in the face that you're willing to get it hard enough, you know what I mean? It's sort of like an agreement with it, isn't it?
I think that's part of like, I mean, I imagine for a brown belt or so, like, because you kind of at that level where you're comfortable with it. But for me, as I'm at the level where like I'm beating a few guys, getting beat sometimes, it is frustrating sometimes when you catch like a heel hook, for example. You look at them and they're just completely unaware, you know what I mean? You've got a release, and then at the end it's like, oh, it's a great roll that, and you're thinking,
I could have had
it's hard, the ego comes in, doesn't it? I've started to transition to straight footlocks again because of that. Yeah. Because like I'll catch the heel hook and then I can feel like people not, so I'll go, oh, I like that sound. The sound, I'll either let go or transition to the straight one. Sorry, digressing there. So grappling arts.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, that's what I do. So like, if we're rolling and then suddenly someone's arms around my leg, I'm like, I don't even know if it's on or not. So I look at them, I'm like, have you got me there? Like, because I'm quite normally if someone just wraps my leg up, I'll like think about tapping, because that's the nasty stuff, right?
But it also as well, it's like a good rule of thumb, and this is all cliche stuff. It's all commonplace around most gyms now. But like, if you're experienced enough, and everyone's at it these days, aren't they? But if you're experienced enough to apply these twisting leg locks that can blow MCLs or even worse ACLs out, then be experienced enough to let go of it. Do you know what I mean? Be experienced enough, like, don't be a bellend. How much do you need that tap in the gym? Yeah. You know what I mean? Do you need to, like, no disrespect, but do you need to heel up the fuck out of some white belt and be like, yeah, I got that? No.
I just wonder sometimes, so like, say if we're rolling and then someone's wrapped my leg up, like I'll look at them and be like, so does that mean that if you wanted to, you could just bang now? Because I don't even know if they're in the position where, like, I haven't done any leg stuff, to be honest.
You can feel, so without going into too much detail, so when it at in like a twisting leg lock, like a heel lock, for example, is applied, and it puts pressure on the knee or the ankle, you can feel the tension and the pressure sort of, but it's not painful. You know what I mean? You feel it. You feel it before something pops. Yeah. And it's the same. It's the same with some of the toe stuff. People don't give them enough respect. Toes, I think that's another one where like the foot's like it's okay, and then it crunches and then it goes. Do you know what I mean?
Don't mess around with leg locks.
I think straight foot locks, you've got like you feel the pressure come on, you feel the pressure come on. Like, but with heel hooks, like you said, like obviously I don't know as much as you, but for me, when I'm rolling with like high level guys, when I know I'm in a heel hook, is when they stop moving. Because it's like we're constant motion, we're rolling. Like I'm fighting for the leg, trying to get it back, and then all of a sudden they'll just stop and like give me a look, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's got that. He could rip my leg apart if he wanted. Like, I think it's just experience, isn't it?
Yeah, just a bit more training. Right, yeah. So the different styles of wrestling. So we've got BJJ, Sambo, catch
wrestling, Sambo. So going from Brazil as well. So I mentioned it before. So there's a style in Brazil called luta livre, which is essentially leg lock heavy, no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
What's that called again?
Luta livre.
Luta livre.
Yeah.
So
it come out around about the same time as the Gracie started developing their form of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And the reason, again, what I'm led to believe is because a lot of poverty in Brazil. Gis were expensive. Jiu-Jitsu was expensive. Again, these guys are good businessmen. Formed it into a lucrative business, quick time, like that. Some kids wanted to fight, they wanted to learn how to fight, but there was no way of them affording for classes and gis and everything else, so that born luta livre. Also as well, footlocks and stuff like that was sort of frowned upon. Classed as like if the, what was the quote? If the like the rear naked choke is like the king of hearts, the footlocks like the dirty teeth. Like, and so luta livre guys started developing like a leg lock heavy game without the gi on as well. So that's from Brazil. And then obviously over here we've got I mean, the judo pedigree over here is amazing anyway, isn't it? And then, but like I said, you've got all these sort of like what's that one that's coming to me? Some fucking mad like Cornish jacket wrestling or something. Yeah. They've got, you know what I mean? Like grab hold of each other's collars and then kick each other in the shins.
It's called Cornish shinking. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the name. I've seen it before.
There's so many like obscure arts that have died.
You're sort of in there like a collar type position, and you're just fucking kicking each other in the shins until one person gives up. It's like, how random is that? But
what is the?
But it's traditional.
Right.
Traditional.
But the ones, I mean, the effective ones that are still out there, that are still doing bits, and that you'll see in MMA shows, obviously Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because it's everywhere now, isn't it? Yeah. Judo's so effective. If somebody, my small experience with it, I've competed once in judo, just something to do, but my experience with it is that when people are good at it, they're fucking terrifying. They're so, not unorthodox, but you don't know where to place your fucking hands and feet, and you don't know what's going to happen next. And like, why is he turning his hips like that? What's he made that grip for? Fucking hell, next thing you're getting hit with the ground. Yeah. So, judo, another effective one. And then all these other ones like catch wrestling, luta livre, like there's a big gym in Liverpool, Cowabon. They have a solid, aside from BJJ, they have a solid luta livre background, you know what I mean? Used to have a guy over from Brazil, Marcelo Brigadier, and he sort of grew it from that, and people were getting graded and stuff. I don't know what happens with it now.
People shit on judo sometimes, you know, especially like some jiu-jitsu guys, like, because they're not as good on the ground as jiu-jitsu, but it's like, in the streets, judo is very effective, because if you're hitting someone into concrete with force, that isn't ippon. Like that.
Yeah, you're gonna fucking kill them.
That's it. That's the end. You know?
I'd rather someone pull guard on me than throw me. Like, let's be honest.
This is the thing, isn't it? And that's a good topic, because like sport jiu-jitsu, there's a lot of ineffective things that get done, isn't it? There's a lot of things that are ineffective.
Yeah, sport versus traditional.
Well, slap, bump, both sitting on our arms.
Yeah.
Is it like because you don't have to worry about getting punched and kicked, right?
There's a little bit of that, but also as well, a lot of the techniques are flawed because it's so grappling heavy, and it's so, like, a lot of the stuff is set up off your back, like the lighter guys. They developed this sick guard game, didn't they? The closed guard and everything else that comes off it. and a lot of it's playing off your back, isn't it? That's not a good place to be if, you know, in the streets. That's not a good place to be, is it?
Needles
like
everywhere,
on
broken
your back.
glass.
Yeah.
And they always
You
have
don't wanna
10
be there,
mates
so-
kicking in the head.
Well, that's the other
This
side of
is
it,
why
isn't
it's important to develop as a full grappler or a full fighter, is because a lot of these, there's a lot of gyms where that's not included, where every round starts off on the arse, right?
Yeah.
It starts off, nobody knows how to get the actual thing going there, and you see this in competition. When I first started competing, like at white belts and blue belts, I was fucking smashing everything because no one had no wrestling. Nobody was taking that, so I was just fucking taking people down, getting on top, and be like, obviously it's a little bit less experience, so I was fucking grabbing subs left, right, and centre, but it's because like loads of places, more places are prolific with it now, but you still go to most, especially if they're grappling heavy gyms and not MMA based. You go to most of them, and you won't see much of actually getting the fight to the ground.
No, even a lot of the sparring, you find so many times, like, they'll be like, oh, it's time to spar, and people will just either sit down or go on their knees and start knee wrestling.
Yeah.
You think that has no application to anything,
Yeah.
does it? It's like, obviously, if there's 50 of you on the mat, you
That's
probably
the
can't,
issue,
you can't start wrestling, but whenever you can, you should really, I think.
And I understand as well that like part of it is to get the round going. You know what I mean? And if people are a little bit more frantic and a little bit less experienced, you will get people where they'll just both be stood up, don't know what they're doing, so they both go to the knees, butt heads on the knees, and then it's like, so if somebody's coaching the class or if you're running the class, you need to say to them, one of you sit on your ass, just start the round, let's get it going.
You're on top, you're on bottom, right,
Yeah,
go.
yeah. It's like you see this more with the bigger guys, even though it's with a lot with everyone, but more so with the bigger guys. But you don't want to be on the bottom. You don't want to start from the back because physical attributes are going to dictate that I've got more of a chance
On top.
being the top guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's why you need to drill that out to them.
So yeah, I'm going to move it on. So I think what we've spoken about so far is good, and if BJJ guys hear it, they're going to sort of follow it, right? But so if we're talking to people that are interested in doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, let's talk to them for a little bit, right? So people. Obviously, BJJ, it's UFC, right? That has sort of helped to popularise Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because of from my understanding, Rhys Gracie in one of the first ones. So I saw that about, it must have been about 15 years ago now. And I saw the video of him winning UFC. In a gi, against the guy, like one guy with
Art
the...
Jimmerson with one
Jimmerson,
boxing
I was trying to think of his surname then. One
People
boxing
say he
glove.
was a crap boxer or he didn't win a world title, but he was top 10 ranked. You're not a top 10 ranked middleweight boxer if you're a slouch. Like he wasn't like a back in the day like a Sugar Ray Robinson or someone, but
It was like a video
he
game
was
though,
still
wasn't it?
he was a
It was
top
amazing.
10 level boxer. He was no fucking slouch. If he you're going down.
So there was him, and then there was the one that sticks in my mind is the massive judo guy. That
Remco Pardue.
is that who it
I
is?
think if that's the guy. White guy or black guy?
White guy.
Yeah, Remco Pardue. So he's from, I think he's like a 6th degree BJJ guy now. Obviously,
Transition
everyone's
over.
eyes were opened, weren't they, from the UFC 1 and 2.
But Rhys Gracie's like over 6 foot, right?
He's
He's
not a
about
little guy.
6 foot.
Yeah,
Could say
but
this
he
being the
looks
big-
little, doesn't he, on that video?
He's the smallest of the brothers.
Yeah, he's only, I think he's only like 175 pounds.
He's not 175, 180.
So let me talk to those guys. So so we're talking about an early UFC.
UFC 1.
Was it UFC 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1993?
Three.
Yeah. No,
Where,
the 12th.
um,
I was born on that day, so I saw it was either the 12th. Yeah, I think it was the 12th or 13th, but before I was born.
where a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy won the first UFC, and they'd fight. I think how many times did he fight in the one night?
3, I think it was 3.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
They invited fighters.
Tournament, MMA tournaments.
Yeah,
Fucking
they
mad.
invited first of its kind. They
No
invited
holds
like a fighter from every major discipline, didn't they? Like there was a karate guy, there was
Yeah.
a kickboxer.
It wasn't like Street Fighter 2. Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, there was a
Great.
sumo guy, wasn't there? Massive
Oh, he
Got
got
his
a
teeth
teeth
knocked out, didn't he?
Emmanuel Yarber, his name was.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
There was a wrestler as
I'm
well.
sure that
wasn't
was his
there?
name. Ken Shamrock
Ken
was
Shamrock,
there.
yeah.
World's most
So,
dangerous man.
Yeah, they were trying to figure out what was the most. It was like Mortal Kombat in real life.
Basically,
wasn't it?
yeah.
But it was,
trying to figure out
you're
what
right,
was the most
that was sort of opened everyone's eyes, like in the fight community and like anyone that watched it. Like, what is this little Brazilian guy with the fucking gi on? What's he doing? He's not going to beat it. Fucking hell, he's strangling everyone. He's strangling people with his gi as well. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
So it was perfect, great business model because UFC won from the old SEG before Zuffa bought the UFC. So that was Jorge and Gracie's baby. He devised that because he wanted. The Gracies were at it for years in Brazil, like putting adverts in papers. If anyone can fucking beat us, you come down and fucking do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To grow and promote and
Some
grow
of
and
those
promote.
tapes were
So
great
that's
as
what they
well.
done.
Yeah.
They took it to America and they developed this like the Ultimate Fighting Challenge. It was called the UFC. The Ultimate Fighting Challenge, and they put it out there, and fucking people come from everywhere. And they were going to put Hickson in it. I'm going around the world a little bit, but I'll condense it now. Hickson was like the boy in the family. He was like the champion of the family, beats everyone, handsome bastard, ripped to death. And they put it in, and they were like, no, don't need to. Nobody knows what we're doing. It's like they had like this superpower. So they're like, let's fucking put it, because they're all sick at it. So then they were like, no, let's get your brother who's a bit skinnier. Let's put him in, do you know what I mean? Looks a bit unassuming and that. And put him in and just fucking murked everyone, didn't
Just
he?
one.
Yeah.
So
No time limit, fighting 4
no
times
time
in a night.
no time limit.
No time,
No.
no. No. Just a dead butt, no gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no holds barred. There was I think it was Joe Son, who actually is now in prison. He's a bit of
Murderer.
he's a nonce, isn't he, as well?
Yeah.
But he won a fight. I think it was he either won or lost a fight where they were on the ground, and I think it was Joe Son who
Either one or
either
lost.
won or lost. But basically, the guy who won was just punching the other guy in the balls until
Yeah.
he
Oh,
got
yeah,
tired.
yeah,
He was on the floor like bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang,
I mean,
and
that,
the other guy
that
tapped
sounds
out.
like something a nonce would do.
Yeah,
So
no holds barred.
Yeah.
worth a watch. 30 minutes. So we're 30 minutes in, gents. All right. Let's
Before we
talk.
get to these questions then.
Pardon? We get to these questions. Yeah. So right. What would you say to someone who is thinking about it? Right. Someone who's never done martial arts before. Yeah. What would you say to them?
If you're thinking about joining,
Yeah.
get in, give it a try. It's gonna suck really bad for at least the first few weeks. Then you'll start gradually knowing how to move. You won't get beat up quite as much. You'll still get your arse kicked. You're gonna meet some good people. It's gonna get you into shape. Since I started back 2 months ago, I'm about half a stone down. I put on a bit of timber last year. So, just too much beer, too much junk food, and it's gonna blitz you. You're gonna feel great. There's no better feeling than when you've done a hard session and you come out and go, yeah, I've learned something here. I've got my arse kicked. I had a roll with Duffy the other day, for a 7-minute roll. Tapped me about 10 times, but I also come out and thought, yeah, that third time he tried to wrist lock me, I managed to somehow get out. It's the little wins. So it's just get on the mat, turn up. If you really, really hate it, give it one more chance. If you don't and it's not for you, okay, fair dues, it's not, but you won't regret it.
Do we all agree with that?
Completely, yeah. Mental health, physical health,
Yeah, yeah.
self-confidence, self-defense. I can't think of anything in my life that is worse because of jiu-jitsu, other than I spend about 4 hours a week doing laundry.
Yeah, every night,
That's
right?
No gi for the win.
The only downside, yeah. It's
It's the thing,
improved,
isn't it?
improved
Yeah, a
my
lot
life.
of washing.
Yeah, it's improved my life in every conceivable way, genuinely. Like, I think you don't know until you try, really.
Oh yeah.
So it's hard to get people to take that jump, but so glad that I did, you know.
One thing as well is people go, it's the self-defense aspect. One of the biggest parts is when you go there and you realise that you can't fight.
100%.
It actually makes you less likely to fight somebody out and about,
100%.
because you realise, you look at some people, and especially if they haven't got the ears, like Ant's got the cauliflower ears, so you know, stay away from them. Like, but you see some people and they just look so
especially
unassuming.
women.
They look,
Yeah.
they just look like just the most random fella, and then someone will go, oh yeah, I'm bigger than him, I lift weights, I can beat him up, and then you get twisted up like a pretzel.
That's exactly why I got into it
Yeah.
head first, because I'm about 6'2".
Yeah, big fella.
105 kilo. I used to walk around like I've never been a knobhead, but I always was like one of them. Where, oh, if the chips were down, I'd do X, Y, Z. I'm a big, strong lad. Yeah, you know what I mean. One of them. And then I did like a charity boxing match. Trained for like 8 weeks for it. Did my match. It went all right. Went quite well. And then I was like, sound, I can fight me. Went down to an MMA gym, Sukata's over in Liverpool, and just got absolutely folded up by a white belt half my size. Yeah. And I was just, because I was going in there thinking, oh, you know, yeah, the black belt will beat me, yeah, but, you know, I'll give these purple belts a go.
It's great.
Oh, it's just, like you said, it's completely eye-opening, isn't it? Yeah. Like, changes your perspective. I had that thought, I was rolling with this fella, I was like, this fella is so much smaller than me. And if, like, I was the only thing between him and, like, my little baby nephews, and he was going to go kill him, there's nothing I could have done to stop. It wouldn't matter how angry I got, how frustrated. Like, it's just, you realise. It's funny as lads. It's like you think you're God's gift at fucking and fighting, don't you? Everyone, naturally. But you realise it's just not true. Like, but it's weird because I've got mates who are accountants, and I wouldn't go like, oh yeah, oh no way, yeah, and I wouldn't like watch you do an accounting and go, yeah, I could do that. But guys watch the UFC and they go, yeah, I could do that.
Do you know what this is? And I want to come off the back of that point, but just to go back to your question a sec there. So, the one thing that I would say is, and I do say, is don't say, I'm going to get fit. I'm going to do this first to get fit for it. You're not going to. You're going to eat shit. You're going to. You don't matter. It doesn't matter what you do or what your background is, okay? Some kind of attributes and some kind of things will transition over, but you're not going to get yourself fit enough for your first session in combat sport. It's just not going to happen. It doesn't work like that. What I wanted to just to touch on that, right, is that like I used to when I've coached in the past, I used a helicopter pilot comparison, and I'll say to guys like, would you go over to the helicopter? If I said go and fly that, you go, no, I can't, because I've had no formal training. So why is it that every man, myself included, thinks they have some kind of fighting prowess? Why do you think that? You've had no formal training. Now, I'm not saying that you're not strong. I'm not saying that you're not fast or flexible or any of these physical attributes that you may have endured to get, or they might be God-given. What I'm saying is that you've had no formal training in combat sports, in fighting arts that actually work against other trained fighters. So why on earth would you walk into somewhere? And I've done the same when I started this. I was like over 90 kilo, and I walked into somewhere and I've seen it myself, the other side of it now, like when I've coached, and then I've seen like the same person. It makes me cringe because it reminds me of my first day or my first days, and I like walk in and I'll normally go like that. I've done it in the past and I've went like, yeah, mate, go over there, do you know what I mean? And like put with like some wiry lady who's a purple belt competitor, you know what I mean? Yeah. And they'll either go one or two ways. They'll either be completely home. You'll see and literally see a change in the personality and attitude, where they'll be and they'll come back and they'll be like you said, I need to do this. Like what the fuck? I've been walking around thinking I know what I'm doing and I haven't got a clue. Or they'll go, yeah, sound that lad, nice one. Oh yeah, definitely be in tomorrow. You never see them again. Yeah. Never see them again because it's more convenient for them to go and tell the war stories to the mates on the door about what they do. Oh yeah, blooded this fucking 7th students. That's easier. That's going to massage the ego a little bit better than to come in and eat shit for any length of time.
That's it, isn't it? It goes one or two. Yeah, like you say, you have the guys who are like me, and like I think a lot of us who are like, wow, everything I thought I knew about anything is completely wrong. I need to come and learn that. And then you have the ones who just go back to the fantasy world where they're the hero in their action movie. It's easier. You know? Yeah.
It's easier. Why not? I think no one will know. It'll be my dirty little secret.
Just stand up.
I won't tell them what happened in the gym. Look, we've got 3 points aside on this bench.
They're the guys commenting on Instagram like, yeah, but you could have
put
mates.
Guard up.
Like, you can't pull guard in the street, can you?
It's like, yeah, no shit. If it's 3 and you're starting on me, I'm on my toes, mate. I'm out of it.
Here's the other thing. Sorry, dead quick, right? Somebody asked me that about I walked into the changes in a different gym and they were already in a conversation, young lads. Does that ever happen to you, Ant? Do you ever get into like bother when you go out? And I said, no, never, ever. I said, because I believe it's either down to the places you go, the places you frequent or the people you're with, okay? And the other 99%, the other 1% is just fucking bad luck, okay? And like if you're one of these people like, oh, I don't look for trouble, but it follows me. No, well then you're the common denominator, right? So and my age being 43, if I'm surrounded by arseholes in my life and I'm always finding trouble, then it's me. I'm the fucking problem. So like, I don't ever find myself in any kind of bother or trouble because I'm never there. I'm with these, got my kids with me today, with these all the time, aren't I? So
the only trouble I work in security, I work on the doors like in a busy nightclub, so sometimes you can't avoid it. So, but that's, again, I've had some really good chances to use jiu-jitsu in real life situations, which I can talk about if you want, but I've worked with guys who were like, oh yeah, last week I had this bust up, like the week before I had this.
So cringy.
And it's like, these stories, and you're like, have you never thought the only common denominator here is you? It's like, I can count just about over one hand the amount of times I've had to like use force, and I've been working on the doors for like 2 years. Like, I don't mean to like take someone down or, you know, I've only had to hurt someone once, and that was like, you know, 2 years getting in, you know, conflict all the time. Because I think the more you train as well, the more you're like, I don't need this. Like, your ego isn't there as much. It's like you have people saying they're going to do this, they're going to do that to you, and you just go, okay, you know, you're like, maybe you could, maybe you couldn't, you know, I don't need to know, it doesn't matter.
You get past the
really.
age of like 21 and just think, I'll be asked with this.
Like, I get battered every day, you know, like, I don't need any.
Some of these people, they need to, it's like, you want to fight them, let's go to a boxing gym and have some mutual combat. Go, I want to punch someone in the face. It's like, well, rather than being some little, like, scrawny 19-year-old first-year university student who's had, like, 10 bevies.
Yeah.
It's like,
this is where
go and fight somebody who's going to fight back. Learn something, you'll enjoy it.
This is where it comes from, because a lot of the time, and again, I can refer like back to myself when I was younger, a lot of the time, it comes from this, like, this insecurity where they might have a bit of size, or they might have a reputation, or they might be in a certain job. I used to work on Concert Square, by the way, so it's all about myself, not you.
Yeah.
So they might have that, and then it's built up because they've never had to do anything. They've just always been assumed that they're going to be that person that can do these things. So then they have this massive insecurity inside there. I need to release this. I need to release it on this person who's under the influences of half my size, and it's a one-sided fucking beating, and I can do that. But heaven forbid I'm going to go somewhere and actually, because I might get found out. Get found out. Oh, you look like that, but you're not that. Okay. Yeah. So that's why they don't.
Just in case this is messing with the audio, it's just started raining heavy here, so like, yeah, can't do anything about that for now.
Can you do?
Maybe once we got a studio. I wanted to come back to a couple of points. So before, when you were saying that you get two kinds of people, right? The one that it changes their frame of mind, they think about it, and the other one who's like, yeah, I love that, and then do one. It's like, for me, that's like, well, it's like in everything, right? So to question your sense of self, it's painful, right? And that, I guess that's the difference. So it's like the people who are willing to question their sense of self and to consider that maybe their preconceptions were wrong, and then think about it, and then maybe they might change because of that, or people who might find it too painful to change and just want to keep things easy in their mind and just go the route of
cling on to the fantasy.
Cling on to the fantasy, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, personally, I'm very much. I mean, we all have. What's the word? We all lie to ourselves about something, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, but like personally, I think I feel like everyone here, and maybe the guys that do train regularly at the gym, at least in that aspect, they're willing to learn, right? You have to be open to be willing to learn.
I think you've touched on the best thing about BJJ and the reason why it actually works and the reason why most of the people who do it aren't bellends.
Yeah.
It's because it's got an inbuilt bullshit filter. Because you can't lie. You can't kind of big yourself up and say, I'm this and I'm that, when you've just given everything you could to try and beat this guy and lost. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that happens in your first 6 months. It happens every day. You know, happens a bit less and less the more you go, but still
you
happens.
Can't hide it.
You can't hide
it. It doesn't matter the facade, and we all love that, don't we?
Yes.
It doesn't matter how much like this facade and what you're going to tell me about you and what you're going to try and sell yourself like to yourself as well. We're going to find out in a minute. We're going to find out in a minute. So keep to that. If that's the guy you want to be, because it's going to be embarrassing in a minute. Do you know what I mean? And that's why it does changes you into being a more humble person.
There's no hiding place,
And then I think also, say like you've got the guy that comes in the gym, you know, like sort of like doesn't know whether or not to say hi to people, or like, you know, no one's sort of engaging, and the coach might say hello, like, who are you? But is apprehensive about what's about to happen.
New kid at school.
Pardon?
New kid at school.
The new kid at school, energy. And they come in, but like, so everyone there at the gym, they know how that feels, right? Because they've been there. So whether they let on to that person or not, right, they still know. And you've got an idea of what that person's going to go through when they come in, they try and learn a technique. They're asked to do, what's that move called? Granvilles?
Granby rolls.
Granby rolls.
Yeah.
Granby rolls. They have to do Granby rolls, and they have to be taught, and then they get to roll, and then you know whoever they roll with is just, you know, putting them here, putting
like
them
a
there.
baby, like a
like a baby.
Yeah, trying to nurture them and look after them and make sure that their experience of it, they come back. Make sure they fucking come back.
Yeah.
It's got to be someone good as well, because you don't want to stick them with like a 6 month 120 kilogram white belt.
This is what I say. The worst person to put a new guy with is someone who's been training between 4 and 8 months.
Yes.
Because they know what it's like. They've had their ass handed to them.
They know enough
and someone
to
comes
do it to
in
somebody
and
else.
they've got a magic power now. It's like, oh, you motherfucker! I'm going to see if this actually works now.
You guys are the most dangerous animal on the planet. Like a 6 to 8 month white.
Not in a good way though. So if I'm speaking to anybody out there who is thinking about doing it but is apprehensive, I would say, you know, come in, you know, and just experience it, right? So the way Trident is, because that's one of the only gyms I've experienced. I've experienced 3 gyms, but say talking about Trident MMA in Bromborough. You go in, you know, you get ready, like a lot of the guys know each other, so they'll be, you know, joking and laughing before the session. Then you'll go and do the session. But it is a welcoming experience because, you know, the gym wants people to join the sport, to come and train with them. It's good for business, it's good for the sport. And I would say, like, for me personally, any apprehensions or like wondering if I should be there or not, it's purely down to my own sort of preconceptions, what I'm thinking of in my head, you know. So if you're thinking about it, do it. And personally, I love it, right? I absolutely love it. And I know I'm 6 months in, and I want to say I'll be doing Jiu-Jitsu for life. Like, I know I can't say that because probably a lot of people say that, and there's a stereotype about blue belts quitting, right?
It's true.
It's true, yeah.
It's true, yeah. A lot of my race, I came up with like, came up like I'm a professional athlete. I started training with a group of like 6 mates, and there's 2 of us who still train. As soon as they got their blue belts, they were like, done it, completed Jiu-Jitsu, let's go.
So blue belt tends to take over a year to get, right?
18 months to 2 years. Depends on your ability.
I think it's a little bit quicker now. Like, as a rule of thumb, it used to be like 2 years consistent training. Do you know what I mean? But
some people take longer, some get it quicker.
Yeah.
If you're training 5 times a week,
yeah,
you know, you like people will get it in like 6 months.
Yeah,
training 5 times a week.
That's the good thing about it, actually. Just to add on to that, is that with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's still like it's still not like watered down. There's a lot of traditional arts out there, like you know, people go on about like certain forms of karate, and it's not karate as an art. It's certain avenues that's taken, and people who've continued it on, and people who've promoted people, and people who've monetized it. So you'll have like karate and taekwondo and things like that. It's not that they don't have legit techniques, they do, It's just that it's been around a lot longer and a lot more prevalent and westernised a bit more. And next thing, it's like, you know, this classic joke, isn't it? Where someone like, what belt are you? But oh, you're a brown belt. Oh, my 9-year-old's a black belt. Yeah, he's a black belt in Taekwondo. Yeah. All right.
So like when, you know, people are like, oh, you've been doing jiu-jitsu, what belt? They're like, I'm a blue belt. And it's like, you've been doing it for like 2.5 years, you're a blue belt. And you're like, yeah.
But this is what I'm saying, like, it counts for a lot, doesn't it? It counts for a lot. There's guys walking around, like, who've been training consistently and competing for over a decade. They're not a black belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think,
they've been training a long time.
Again, it's the live sparring that sets jiu-jitsu apart. It's like the fact that for at least, you know, probably half your time training, or, you know, at least, you know, a third, you are trying to do something against someone else's will. You know, you're trying to do a technique that someone really does not want you to do to them. So you know that when you hit it, you can reliably do that. Whereas that's the problem with the other stuff. It's like, a lot of the time it's based on time, or it's like
based on form and kata, isn't it? It's based on you do this, it's a choreographed dance.
Yeah.
And is the reason why there's 4 disciplines that are genuinely considered you need to be doing regularly to fight mixed martial arts. So what are they?
Wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing.
There we go. Yeah, Muay Thai, Western boxing, some kind of submission grappling, some kind of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and wrestling, freestyle, Roman Greco, whatever it is. Now, what have they all got in common as well?
They train
sparring.
live.
It's something that you do live. It's something that you do live. There's unpredictable things that your training partner's going to do and you're going to do, and you're going to have to fucking meet in the middle. Yeah. And there's going to be ultimately sparring, but there's ultimately going to be somebody that's going to be more dominant than the other one, and that's why they work so much. With the rest of them, there's it's kata. People literally get a black belt in doing a choreographed combat dance.
Fucking dance,
Yeah.
you memorise a certain amount of moves.
Hey, I fucking dance. There's nothing wrong with dancing, mate. Come on, let's...
Former professional ballet dancer.
Yeah, it's
I
okay to dance, guys.
So he's
right?
automatically, by being a professional dancer, he's an honorary black belt in Taekwondo.
Ex-pro dancer. Yeah, you could say that I've got an equivalent of a black belt in ballet.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, did you not know that?
No.
I'm an ex-pro ballet dancer. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I'm flexible.
That fucking blew me mind.
And I've got like that's why I've got that base, like high base level of fitness.
Yeah.
And
you know where your body
flexible.
is as well.
Yeah,
Like,
good.
you know where your limbs are, and
Yeah. It definitely translates, doesn't it?
The year I stopped was the year that the iPhone came out.
Yeah.
So I've got one DVD at home somewhere of me dancing, and like that's about it. When I was good, anyway. Yeah.
Have to learn me.
that'll be in the chat. I wonder what Gaz will do with that.
Yeah. I might chuck a
Give
little
that to
clip
Gaz.
in
We need to do his photoshopping.
Yeah.
You be in the background.
All right, gents. So we've been talking for a while now. Let's talk about what we're gonna do now. So we're gonna have a little spar, and we're gonna warm up. We're gonna shut the cameras off, warm up, and then we're gonna film some rolls. Okay, Joe, do you wanna come and sit with us for this bit? Yeah. So
Yes, Joe. What's happening, lad? Yeah, I just turned around dead quick before and just seeing a person sitting there, didn't realise it was you.
thanks for coming, man. Did everyone get introduced actually? So
Yeah, when we got here.
Spencer.
no,
Joe.
they didn't. So
You know, you're there.
Joe, Spencer, Rhys, Greg, Anthony. So yeah, basically I invited Joe here today because
To beat me up.
not to beat you up, no,
Yes.
nothing like that. But
Fight.
yeah, okay. No, just to just so that Spencer would have like a match up that's of his weight category, and you're a blue belt as well, aren't you?
Yeah. So did you say you're 105
Yeah,
kilos? So I'm weighed myself this morning in advance. 112 kilos. I started Jiu-Jitsu in April last year, but I started the beginner's course.
Okay.
And I was 123 then, and not in the good way. So I've lost a fair bit of timber.
Testament straight away, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then I signed up as a full member in June, and as you were saying before, kind of you can train twice a week and it might take longer. I was training nearly every day. I was hooked. And then just before last session before Christmas, something like the 23rd at our gym, wasn't it? I've got my blue belt then. So I think I probably have my blue belt a little bit less time
Yeah,
than you. But I am carrying slightly more timber.
That's one thing as well, though, where like you say about traditional, they go, oh, if you can show this move, if you can show this move, like it's so discretionary in jiu-jitsu. It's like, right, yeah, you're tapping out some blue belts, you're beating all the white belts, and you know you're holding your own with blue belts. Yeah, you're probably blue belt level, and then you know your gym gives out stripes, you're 3-stripe blue, aren't you? So you get to the point where if there's purple belts around your sort of size and you're giving them trouble, and you know white belts aren't even pestering you at all, other blue belts you're beating most of them. It's like, right, well, it's sort of that's where you are.
Yeah.
It's as
Like,
simple
that's
as
how
right.
it works. It's not.
It's same with like boxing. It's pretty much no, they don't have belts and that, but it's like, right, get in the ring. Who's fucking better? Well, we're gonna find out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know
And
where you're at.
you have off days, you have good days, but in general, it's like, right, you know, you say, right, you know, you're a blue belt, and now you're smashing the purple belts, and it's like, well, maybe it's time for you to get promoted.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, that works to a level, but you're still going to have, like, there's still levels to that,
Oh, yeah.
isn't there? Like, there's still
You
going
have
to be
competitors
outliers.
and
I've seen the, like, them kids from, well, they're not kids anymore, but them Rutolo brothers.
oh yeah,
So they come over for Grapple Fest a few years back. Blue belt juvenile.
well,
blue
they're only
belts.
16 though, weren't they?
16,
So,
yeah, come over, and I watched them. And luckily enough, at the time, I was in a different gym, and my coach was the promoter. And so we get to roll with all these guys that were known on the world stage, and I watched them come in as blue belt kids and destroy, just toy with every black belt that was there to train. You know what I mean? So you're going to always get them outliers. You know?
Fast forward 5 years though, and you've like
Best in the world, aren't they? Some of the best
one
in
of
the
them won the was it 77 kg. They won the ADCC, and the other one took the silver at the absolutes.
They're the guys with the curly hair.
yeah.
Big curly hair.
Yeah. Didn't they get their brown belts the other week? Or was it or something else?
No, they've been black belt.
Was
for
it,
a couple of years
have
now.
they got the black belts
Yeah.
now? Yeah.
So this is the plan, right? We're gonna warm up, and then me or Rhys will have a roll with you,
Okay.
and because you actually suggested this to me, you're gonna sort of like showcase some kind of different styles.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Do you
Yeah.
want to just elaborate on that?
Is it? Are we doing the technique or are we rolling live?
Brown.
Wha-
Whatever.
Okay,
Yeah,
so what I suggested
go
is
on.
that when we mentioned different grappling styles, okay, so what we could do, whether it's if it's non-compliant, I'll try, but obviously I can't guarantee anything. But
We
I
can do it all.
suggested-
We can do both, right?
Sound okay. So we suggested that we'll pluck out different techniques from different grappling arts. You know what I mean? So like we mentioned, freestyle wrestling, Roman Greco, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, catch wrestling. We'll do them.
Do you have any techniques in mind?
No, but I'll figure it out.
Okay. Should we just show a couple of techniques right
Sound?
now?
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, we're not warm or anything like
Yeah.
that. Just show a couple of techniques right now, really quickly,
Yeah.
and then maybe try and hit them in a
Sound.
non-compliant.
Okay. So what I'll do, we'll do 2 standing, 2 like wrestling techniques, and we'll do 2 grappling, as in submission. So we'll do 2 from, we'll do 1 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like standard thing from BJJ. We'll do 1 from catch wrestling, and then we'll do like a freestyle American takedown and Roman Greco takedown or a judo one.
Okay, let's do it. Because I like the idea of being able to like.
Sound? Fucking put me on the spot there. Different enough now. If anyone's asked, I've seen twice this morning, alright?
Can we? So how far can we go? Head's a bit cut off here. So if we can.
That's good.
For now, if we stick to.
And I'll say on this one it's perfect.
This one's perfect.
Yes, it's all spot on.
Right, we've got enough space there.
It's late, you know.
Yeah, no, let's not injure
Okay.
ourselves right now.
Okay,
We've just
no
been
worries at
sitting down.
Have we got here?
Yeah. This is because obviously you've got plenty of room.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
I've got
so...
a belt on as well, right? Should I take that out?
People wear belts in the streets,
That means you're gonna punch you as well.
They do. I was going to say, I had the guy.
don't do a takedown defense with like whacking me over
Yeah.
the belt.
Here's a
gonna say,
jiu-jitsu move.
belts. That's one thing.
Here's a wrestling
People-
move, and this one's from karate. I'm gonna kick it in the head.
Space, yeah?
We got here, yeah. So, if you stand a little bit closer to me, this is one that we like went over the other day we had the private with me. So just stand square for the demo. So the first one will be from wrestling, specifically American freestyle wrestling, which is the basic double leg takedown, okay? So I won't go into too much detail, you just want me to demo it, okay? So I'm here in front of my partner, I'm in distance, I'm going to level change that in. Take the leg down and pass the guard, okay?
So do that again from this side, just because.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so here, it's level change first, penetrate step, drive in, back step. Okay, if these stand up strongest, like the sprawl, that's when I'm going to turn the corner. I'm going to the culture mode here, right? It's just for the demo, innit? Yeah. Go another one?
Yeah, another one. Yep.
Sound okay, so we'll do something from Roman Greco type of, so that's basically like another form of wrestling, okay, but it tends to be a lot of body locks, a lot of clinches and stuff. All I'm going to do here, I'm going to come inside, I'm going to grab my opponent, I'm now going to switch to an arm drag and come in for the inside circle on this leg, okay? So I'm here, I switch arm drag, come inside circle, back step and give it a pass. Okay, one more. Yeah.
Do that again. This side.
From this side, yeah? Yeah. Okay, so come in, arm drag, one, back step, and get me past there. Okay, a couple of submission attempts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So, like I said, the guard was developed mainly for BJJ, and for the lighter guys. So, basic one will be for the triangle setup, okay? So, all I'm going to do with the triangle choke, I'm basically using Greg's shoulder and my leg to squeeze against his carotid arteries and put him a kick. Okay, so basic submission setup for this will just be one push and one pull, shoot your triangle up, hips go up, arm across centre line. I grab the head for posture, but first of all I need to get the ankle, turn so I'm nice and tight to my triangle, get the submission. Okay, another submission will be from a different art, catch wrestling like I mentioned before in Wigan. So one that I like to do is just go on your back please Greg. So there's a lot of stuff here, a lot of nasty things. Okay, so one for example would be like a neck crank. So what I'm going to do, feed my hand over, grab hold of Greg just below his elbow. I bring this out, I can put pressure on Greg's head, neck there, or I can come across and get even more pressure like this. Okay? Give you another one, a bonus one. Come inside for me, double wrist lock and catch wrestling, and I drop off to the side and get me leg scissors instead. Okay? So there's four techniques on 4 different grappling lads.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, Ant hit me with that leg scissors the other day, and it was painful.
Yeah, I've been hit with that. It's not nice.
Wicked. So, all right, let's wrap up the discussion there and get warm for a couple of rolls. Let's see how are we going to end this off. Does anyone have any shout outs? Anything they want to promote? Anything like that? I've got a few.
I've got nothing to promote other than just be a good person and get your arse in the gym if you're thinking about it.
Gay.
Okay. Yeah.
One more shout out as well. If you see him in the street, fuck him up.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, define good person. No, I'm joking. So, all right, gents. On this, right, I've given you. Actually, don't show it to the camera.
Is this Jiu-Jitsu homework?
This is not Jiu-Jitsu homework. No,
Okay.
This is a free climb. This is to say thank you, right?
Oh, nice.
Oh, cheers,
So, Anthony, you haven't got
I haven't
one.
got one.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah.
Unlucky, mate. Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Says it
I've
all.
I've only got a few, so no, I'm joking. So I'll give you one, and
Nice one.
for your daughters as well.
Oh, brilliant. Sound.
So you can
There
all
we
go together, and
Free
then
climbing.
you guys, there should be one for you and plus one as well. So I've only put one on there for now, but I've got more there. So that is for free climb at Climbing Hut in Ellesmere Port,
Excellent.
which is an indoor bouldering gym. And thank you to them for giving us the present to give to you guys.
That's very kind of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think us ultra heavies, we are not built for climbing, but
That's a
give it
fallacy.
go.
That's not true,
You know.
right?
Oh.
Get your bum down the gym.
To be fair,
that is
yeah,
not an excuse,
I'm
right?
telling people to just get over their excuses and come to Jiu-Jitsu, so I guess I'll get over
Nice,
their excuses.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
If you like it as well, get your photocopier out and you've got unlimited free climb for life.
Nice.
Get your photo. No, it's a code, mate. It's a code.
come
Yeah. You got to book it online as well. So, you know,
Foiled
we're in the
your plan.
future now, aren't we? We thought about that. So, I want to say thank you to Trident MMA Gym in Bromborough for the training. Love that gym. again, a massive thank you to Hodger Gracie Academy and Steve for letting us use this space, which is fantastic. Who else did I want to? Thank you to Duncan Scammell for letting us use these his artwork. So what I'll do is that I'll probably flash like a good copy of the art up, and these prints here are available to buy as prints. So if you want any of these, contact me on Instagram, UK_calisthenics_G, and my profile picture's the one with the painted blue face that actually Duncan did as well. So yeah, if you want that, get in contact with me on Instagram, and we'll sort you out. And then we're probably going to promote, if we can figure it out. There's a few fighters from Trident Gym that have got fights coming up, and if we manage to get a few clips of them, we'll promote that fight.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you know the date?
Somebody's, or a
Either
couple of
the
them out
ninth-
in 2 weeks. I think there's something else in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
The 1st of April. There's a few things. The busy, active, competitive.
There's Grapple Fest as well, isn't there? So
Yeah.
you got Harry McKnight's got a match up on there.
Yeah,
And then Luke
couple of the other lads
from
have-
RGA.
Luke Johnson.
Luke Johnson, he's got a match, and then you got Kingdom Combat.
Yeah.
So Billy Adams fighting on there, Jack
So is
McLeod,
Jack.
and Jerry Kirkham's got a fight on
So
there
is
as well,
Jerry,
hasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah. So
We'll try and get them promoted, and
Yeah.
then like if we decide to do another one of these, like they could be guests on this as well.
That'd be good.
And does anyone else want to promote anything else or shout out? Hi,
Yeah,
Mom.
like, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I'll shout out to me long-time sponsor, Hard Life Fightwear. They've looked after me, training gear and everything else for about 6 years now. So yeah, I always look after all my fight gear and stuff. Have a look on the social media, Hard Life Fightwear, and obviously on the website, hardlifefightwear.com. Obviously, to the gym, Trident Martial Arts, especially Harry McKnight. I mean, I've said this before, like I go past how many different MMA gyms and combat sports gyms to come there, and it's because with me being a little bit more experienced these days, I want to go where I'm going to get the best coaching possible. And for me personally, that's why I go to Trident Martial Arts. That's why I'm part of it, and I'm proud to be part of the team. I'm proud to compete out of that gym. And the next time that I compete is in the 29th of April, and that's on Grapple Wars, which is in Wales. Are you doing that as well, lad?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's the first one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, that's the 29th of April, and we've got some lads that are out on Grapple Fest on the 1st of April, and then obviously the MMA shows that you mentioned there, Kingdom.
Yeah, we're also doing role models next week, next
Nice.
Sunday, but I don't know if I'll get this out
Good, get it done.
before then. Also, I wanted to shout out Seth for bringing me to the sport. Seth from Trident. And then, there was something else. Oh yeah, I wanted to say that podcast that you did, you mentioned it.
Oh yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll put a link to that as well, because I watched that
Sound-
and it was good. I
Cool.
liked it.
Glad you liked it.
Yeah. So all right, let's call it, right?
Ant,
Sound.
have you got a code for? Have you got a code?
Oh yeah, Duffy 20 for discount. Yeah, good shout. Yeah.
Duffy 20.
Yeah, Duffy 20. If they don't give you the discount, just send them an email or something.
If
I
they don't give you the discount, just tell him. He'll go around and
Yeah,
make
just
them.
like, send me the fucking invoice. Yeah, I'll be embarrassed.
No, you'll knock on the door. You'll be on their offices banging it down like
God.
debt collector.
Thanks a lot, gents. We'll call it
Nice
there.
one. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, Duffy 20. I was waiting for that, but I don't want to.
I always forget that, you know.
Yeah. It's like there's no point saying it. And then... I'll get it.
So guys, we've got Rhys and we've got Anthony. Anthony's brown belt, Rhys is white belt. So Anthony is going to sort of try and hit some of those things that you demonstrated before.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's live and non-compliant, so whatever happens, happens. we warmed up a bit, okay, but like obviously brown belt versus white belt.
I'm gonna get myself nice and ready.
You're,
For this arse beating. Hey, you said whatever. Yeah, anything can happen.
anything it up? All right, guys, are you guys ready to go?
Yeah, I've got the timer ready, so whenever you slap hands both first, I've got the timer.
Okay.
So it's 5 minute round.
Yeah.
Is 5 minute okay, or should we do 2?
No,
I do 5.
5? All right.
Yeah, we can edit it. Oh, if we want to go.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I was asking these guys, but
We're 5 minutes go through all that way.
Yeah.
Time's on.
okay. So we got a bit of
Hand fighting.
hand fighting at the moment. Getting nice and relaxed. Explosion.
Arm drag. Forward side. Into half guard.
That's where the experience, like the relaxation and the boom, explosion.
Great, we're going into butterfly guard.
God.
Going for the back step. Great. You pull it down.
So now it's Ant's job to work past the legs.
Doing a good job of sticking hooks. That's nice. Got that Kimura grip straight from Wigan.
Double wrestler.
Is that Leon Belly there? Leon Nessie. Okay, this is one. Looks like one technique that I.
Yeah, go for that scissors. Through 40 out there.
Ant's going on the bottom. Would that be like passes this week, or does he have to pass his legs before that's this week?
I think that'll just be a sort of reversing of your standing platform.
Two and a half minutes left, guys.
Heavy on the collar side.
Breaking off from the open guards to back up.
Nice, sweet.
All on the leg.
Yeah, nice.
Nice one. Do you want to call it there, boys, or do you want to?
Yeah.
Near enough, aren't we?
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah.
Was that
Nice
a
lad.
straight foot lock or heel hook?
Kind of neat.
Winner by submission. Okay. And what submission was that?
Outside heel.
Outside heel hook.
Sort of about the knee.
I was on the mat.
Call someone
I
out.
was on
Oh,
the
yeah.
mat. Get on the mat.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, lad.
Does anyone want to feel the brown belt fury?
No, don't, God.
Are you not going for it now?
I'll go for it. Hey, yeah,
Come on.
so-
Yeah.
there you go. Alright.
You got a bit of size advantage as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got 30 feet.
It's only a size advantage when your size is being used against
Yeah,
you.
that's what
I found quite quickly.
Should we do you want to say 2 mins?
And I think 5 minutes.
5? Alright.
Yeah.
You'll struggle to get
okay.
it in 2 minutes.
So we've got Spencer, and Anthony. 5-minute casual round. We'll stop if there's a submission, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Start.
Go on.
Go. Okay, so I think Spencer's got 30 kg on Anthony, so
Sure, it's not more.
is that more? It's pure muscle, right?
And you feel the size difference when you're grappling as well, because you're trying to control somebody that much bigger than you.
Yeah.
I'm sitting to guard here.
He's up there. When it's a bit more competitive, you always gas out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, because everything's tight.
When you're being videoed as well, because you don't care if you get beat, you don't want to look, you don't get embarrassed by like getting guillotined after like 3 seconds.
Sweet.
Got the 2 points France if that was a competition match.
Do you think that would have been the first point score?
Sweet.
You get points for the takedown.
2 for the takedown. Yeah, 3 side control in it. 2 side control. But you didn't hold it for 3 seconds. Yeah, you get an advantage. You get an advantage. There's 4 for the back. If you need one, you need both.
You get points for the usual.
But you get your advantage. You
Feel free to move it.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Winner by submission. What was it? Well,
Thanks, Spencer. Appreciate it, mate.
Good that lad.
so we got Spencer and Joe, 2 blue belts, 2 heavyweights. Yeah.
Heavyweight.
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 How heavy?
Heavy.
Ultra heavy.
All right. And go.
Like to fucking get out of this fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice movement. Needs your ass further back on that open guard. Posture control.
Are you coaching Joe?
Yeah, as well. Got the same last card.
So we've got close guard for Joe.
Okay, breathe first if you're back to your feet though. No, just chatting shit to him. You're on your feet, breathe first. Watch the underdog. Hips back, hips back, hips back, hips back with the quality, yeah. Beautiful timing on that.
Nice takedown.
Lovely.
That microphone will catch the breathing there as well.
We're switching sides now, Joe. So nice heavy hips. Drag the hips down, cross your legs underneath them. Keep that mount, switch to the back, hooks in. Under over control. Get that bottom hook in, before it turns, Yes.
Watch that hip.
Hook. Upper body control, yeah, you know you need that seatbelt. That'll do this. Turn them over with that. Transition. Snap down. Stay engaged, boy. Keep both tired. Yeah, try with that. Nice.
Good takedown, bro. Nice takedown. You're halfway through. You're 2.5 minutes left.
Keep control of his head. You don't want him posturing up, do you? With your guard open. Spence. Keep down. Yeah.
Try and step that right.
Hips up and over if you want that scissor. Nice. Watch the triangle.
He's got it out now.
Shift through to your guard. Yes. Unlucky. Don't rest here, boys. Only a minute or so left.
Minute and a half left.
Go for it. Just open your guard. Big fucking hip bump. Boom. Use that under hook.
Nice pass. Well done. Get that knee in, so wedge to his left elbow, go. Use your knee. He's framing on your hip there, Joe.
Nice. Both knees on the mat and drive. Beautiful. Time check.
1 minute and 5 seconds.
Minute to go. Let's get your knee out. Tripod up. Post on his face and get your upper body up. Get your left arm posted on his face and just drive your upper body up. Only got a minute, don't worry about the sweep. Have something off it. Nice. Go with that. Go.
Time.
Nice one. Good that. Is that a hard round for both of you?
Yeah.
Good that.
Very evenly matched, isn't it? Yeah. You've got two blue belts, about the same weight.
Yeah. It does become that war of attrition. Like who's going to gas first?
Yeah.
Who's going to gas here? Who's going to tip in that?
We got draw. Everyone's a winner.
Use a couple of takedowns and a couple of sweeps.
I stepped on it, and so I just had to call it in the end. But
As you got the sweep as well, like.